Welcome back to another Handy Bros Insider. Last month, we started to dive into chisel, and we were talking about how that was our efficiency process that sets us apart from everyone else. Now we're gonna start diving into specifics of what makes up chisel. And the biggest piece really started with this thing we call a pod. In fact, the name chisel and the whole concept of it actually stemmed from the pod itself, because the pod is the main piece that sparked the entire movement. Eric, Nick, and myself, we were just sick and tired of walking through the shop and seeing so many inefficiencies.
Like, imagine for like the fifth day in a row, you're telling the guy, like, what are you still doing here? You have 2 no heats to get to today. Like, you have to get those done. And he's like, well, I had to load everything up and like we were missing this fitting. Or like I'd find out that they were at the supplier. They go in the supplier, they stand in line, it's 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. Plus they're at the supplier, so we don't get a good deal because over the counter. Like one guy, a crew leader, burns down and happens picking something up.
We've always talked about getting things together and like having them on a pallet. And then we talked about what if the pallet was a bit bigger on a piece of plywood type of thing. We could like just like put it in the truck. And then it was like, well, what if everything was on the pallet? And then it was like, what if there was like literal workstations that we were just prepping things on and then it went on the truck?
You know, the first designs were horrid, but the idea was there.
No, when we first loaded the wood ones, like stuff started, like you could hear the wood like breaking off the van and everything. Stuff got smashed, lights got smashed, everything.
The first 2 pods, they still look similar to what you see today. They're built out of wood. They're 2x6 frame, plywood on the top.
First couple like snapped in half. So we had to like remake them because it's crazy the amount of weight. The cantilever weight, because it's 10 foot long. But eventually, once we switched to aluminum, it was way lighter.
I ended up weighing a wood pod and unloaded, it was 1,300 pounds. And then aluminum 600.
So the pod is more just like the little cornerstone in the arch that holds everything up. But behind it is all these mechanisms that make it work. It is seriously just a skid, but then there's the building, the trucks, the people that stock it, the willing team to work with it. And that's what makes the whole thing successful.
We were developing new processes all at the same time. So like taking the pod off and cleaning it. What was the best way? What were they missing on their pod that day? Because they were missing stuff all the time. We never had the package. We were like making the package on the fly. I always believed in the dream from the beginning. So like whatever we were doing the entire time, I knew was the right way from the beginning.
It sounds crazy, but the pod was the singular piece that really sparked the entire chisel movement. It's the reason why we're in the building we are today. It's the reason why we have all the exact same vans, the exact same size. It's the reason why we have the production facility the way we do today. It all started off as a dream of a pod, and we spent tons and tons of money and time investing around this idea that we didn't even know would actually work. And here we are today, 3 years later. We have 35 pods and they are working very well.